chosen one. This journey isn't random. It isn't just about romance. It's the alchemy of two flames, split across lifetimes, now awakening in each other's presence. When you meet your twin flame, it feels like magic. But what follows is transformation. It's the fire that burns away illusion. It's the mirror that reflects your highest light and your deepest shadow. It's sacred, it's intense, and it's here to awaken you to unconditional love, starting within. Let's walk through the stages of this divine soul dance, from recognition to reunion. 1. The recognition. The soul awakens. You don't fall in love with your twin flame. You remember them. It's not something you calculate. It's something your soul instantly knows. In a glance, a passing smile, or even a dream long before you meet them in the physical. Your spirit whispers, "I know you." Not from this life, but from lifetimes before. The moment is surreal. Time stretches. The world around you fades. Your logic may try to explain it, but this connection defies explanation. It's not chemistry, it's cosmic memory. Their presence activates something ancient in you, a divine code buried in your spirit, now awakening. You feel simultaneously safe and exposed, drawn in, yet unsure why. There's a magnetic pull, not just to their presence, but to their soul. You recognize them in a way that transcends physical attraction. It's energetic, sacred, preordained. In that instant, something shifts. Your heart opens wider. Your consciousness expands. And without knowing it, the spiritual journey begins. Because twin flames don't come into your life just to love you. They come to awaken you, to initiate your next level of evolution. And whether your encounter is for a season or a lifetime, it marks the beginning of your rebirth, a return to who you truly are beneath the illusions. 2. The bliss stage, heaven on earth. In the beginning, it feels like magic. Everything flows. The connection is effortless, electric, divine. You don't just feel loved, you feel seen, utterly, soulfully understood. You don't have to wear masks. You don't have to shrink, impress, or explain. In their presence, your truth is reflected back to you, raw and radiant. It's a recognition that brings waves of joy, playfulness, and peace. You laugh deeper. You create with more passion. Your heart expands in ways it never has before. It feels like the universe aligned the stars just to bring this moment into being. You feel more alive than ever, as if your soul has found its missing frequency. Your spiritual gifts may heighten. Synchronicities become constant, and life seems to whisper, "Yes, this is it." It's not just romantic love, it's resonance. Two souls vibrating on the same sacred wavelength. It feels like heaven on earth. But this stage doesn't last forever, because the purpose of a twin flame isn't to keep you in comfort, it's to ignite your awakening. This bliss is the invitation, not the destination. It's the universe saying, "Remember this frequency, because now we go deeper." And soon, the parts of you that have not yet healed will rise to meet the light. But for this fleeting moment, you are held in divine perfection, so that when the shadows come, you remember what you're fighting for. 3. The triggering. Shadows rise, just as your heart opens to the divine bliss of reunion. The underworld opens too, because where there is light, shadows awaken. The twin flame connection doesn't just hold love, it holds the key to your deepest healing. And healing begins with revelation. Suddenly, emotions surface that you thought you buried long ago. Abandonment, unworthiness, fear of rejection, fear of being truly seen. You may begin to feel exposed, vulnerable, terrified, not because your twin is unsafe, but because they see through you. They don't create these wounds, they reveal them. They shine light on the parts of your soul still asking to be held, healed, and loved. Every childhood scar, every karmic loop, every unconscious belief that told you you're not enough rises to the surface, not to destroy you, but to liberate you. This is the sacred mirror in motion. You see your twin's wounds too, projected in ways that confuse or even hurt. Words are exchanged. Silence may follow. You both start to question, is this love or chaos? Is this divinely guided or a mistake? This is where the ego begins to battle the soul. Because while your heart wants to heal, the ego wants to protect. And so, one or both twins may pull away, not because the love is gone, but because the intensity becomes overwhelming. Your nervous systems are trying to make sense of something not meant to be logical. The triggering is sacred. It's the spiritual fire that purifies what cannot come into union. The codependency, the neediness, the unresolved pain. Without this stage, there is no real transformation. So if you're in this phase, chosen one, know this isn't the end. It's the initiation. Your soul is being prepared for the kind of love that only healed hearts can hold. 4. The runner phase, fear in disguise. After the triggering comes the retreat. The runner pulls away, sometimes suddenly, sometimes slowly. Not because the love has faded, but because it's too real. This kind of love doesn't play by ordinary rules. It sees into the soul. It shines a divine spotlight on everything the runner has buried. Every shadow, every scar, every false identity they clung to for safety. And when that light gets too bright, they panic. They may ghost. They may act cold or confused. They may even seem to move on with someone else. But don't be fooled, chosen one. This isn't rejection. It's protection. They are not running from you. They're running from the inner chaos that your presence stirred. Your love didn't hurt them. It revealed them. In this phase, the runner tries to escape through silence, cutting communication to numb the overwhelm. Distraction, diving into work, addictions, other relationships. Denial, convincing themselves it wasn't real or that they imagined it all. But deep down, their soul knows the truth, that what they ran from was sacred reflection, that you didn't just show up to love them, you showed up to awaken them. And awakening is uncomfortable when you've spent a lifetime asleep. Remember this, you triggered their deepest fears because you reflect their deepest truth. And truth demands transformation. The runner is on a journey, even if it looks like escape. They are confronting their pain in their own way, in divine timing. So if you're watching them drift away, don't chase, don't beg, don't shrink. Instead, anchor into your light. Because when you stop chasing and start rising, you send out a soul signal. I honor your path, but I won't abandon mine. And that vibration, it echoes in their spirit and calls them home. 5. The chaser phase, the illusion of control. The runner runs and the chaser chases, not out of desperation, but out of wounded love. The chaser feels the sacredness of the connection. They remember the soul bond, and when the runner withdraws, it feels like abandonment all over again. Not just from this lifetime, but from lifetimes past. So you try to fix it. You overgive. You reach out. You wait. You wonder what you did wrong. You think, if I could just love them harder, maybe they'll stay. But this phase isn't about reunion. Not yet. This phase is about revelation. Because chasing, dear chosen one, is a trauma response. It's the echo of old wounds, the inner child who once had to fight for love, the empath who once found value in being needed. the soul who thought their worth depended on someone else's validation. But no amount of proving, pleasing, or performing can call your twin back before they are ready, because the twin flame path is sacred, and sacred love cannot be forced. And so you burn out. You exhaust yourself trying to carry both your healing and theirs, until one day you break down. And in that breakdown, something divine happens. You surrender. You stop begging. You stop waiting. You stop shrinking yourself for love that has to be chased. And you finally ask, "What about me?" That's when the healing begins. Because the true lesson of the chaser phase is this: your power was never in controlling the connection. It was always in returning to yourself. You begin to choose you. You pour that overflowing love inward. You stop chasing them and start chasing your mission, your peace, your wholeness. And something mystical happens in that shift. The energetic dynamic changes. You're no longer vibrating from lack, fear, or need. You're vibrating from sovereignty. And from that vibration, your twin can feel it, even in silence, even at a distance, even if they don't understand it with their mind. Their soul does, because you're no longer pulling on them energetically. You're radiating love without attachment. And that is what calls them home. 6. The surrender. Inner alignment begins. There comes a moment on the twin flame journey where exhaustion meets revelation. You've cried, you've prayed, you've questioned the signs, you've tried to hold the connection together with hope and heartache, but nothing brings them back. Not your love, not your pain, not your waiting. And so, you let go. But this isn't giving up. This is sacred surrender. Not a collapse, but a rise. You stop chasing, not out of anger, but out of wisdom. You realize this journey was never just about union with them. It was about union with yourself. So you stop asking, "Why aren't they coming back?" And you start asking, "What is my soul trying to show me?" You return to your center. You begin to heal the abandonment wounds, release the need for external validation, and reclaim the parts of you that you gave away in your pursuit of love. Your energy shifts, from grasping to receiving, from longing to embodying, from codependency to sovereignty. You start pouring into your mission, channeling your pain into power, and building the life you once thought you needed them to complete. And here's the mystery most don't understand. This inner alignment ripples across the soul bond. Your twin feels it, even if they don't know why. Your healing becomes the spark that begins to awaken theirs. Because the twin flame connection is never one-sided, it's mirrored. As you choose self-love, you unconsciously give your twin permission to face themselves, to feel the void your energy once filled, to confront what they've been running from. Not you, but their own shadow. The surrender isn't a pause, it's the pivot. It's the beginning of divine alignment. Because when two souls stop chasing each other and start becoming whole within themselves, that's when the journey begins to move forward, not through force, but through frequency. You didn't lose them, you found you. And in finding yourself, you finally hold the key to the true reunion, the one that begins within. 7. The mirror phase. Inner work in separation. The physical distance between you and your twin flame can feel unbearable. But in truth, this separation is sacred, because this is where the real work begins. No more distractions, no more illusions, just you and your reflection. Even apart, your energies remain deeply connected, tethered through the soul. And what's happening now is alchemy. Each of you is being called into the furnace of transformation. You start to face your shadows, the unworthiness, the guilt, the fear of abandonment, the pain you've carried from past lives, from childhood, from lineage. This phase cracks you open, not to destroy you, but to reveal you. You begin healing wounds you didn't even know were there. You start to confront patterns you used to justify. You realize that your twin was never the source of your pain. They were the mirror that brought your pain to the surface so you could transmute it. And though you may not see it, they are on the same path, in their own way, at their own pace. You both are learning to balance the divine masculine and divine feminine within, to trust your intuition and take inspired action, to soften and to stand strong, to lead and to surrender. This isn't about fixing each other, it's about becoming whole. And as you evolve, your vibration shifts. You begin radiating truth instead of trauma, love instead of longing, wholeness instead of need. And that shift, it echoes across the spiritual bond. You may begin seeing signs of them again, in dreams, songs, numbers, thoughts. You feel their emotions, you sense their awakening, because the connection never left. It simply moved to a higher plane. In this mirror phase, you stop asking, when will they return? And you start asking, how deeply can I return to myself? And in doing so, you begin to align again, not from wounding, but from wisdom, not from fear, but from frequency. This phase is preparation. It is the sacred rewiring of your soul. So, if you're in separation, dear chosen one, don't lose faith. Your twin is not gone. They are being forged, just as you are. So when reunion comes, it will not be a rescue. It will be a revelation. 8. The return. Divine timing, divine reunion. The return doesn't happen because you forced it. It happens because you aligned with it, because you surrendered the timeline. You stopped chasing and started becoming. And when both souls are ready, truly ready, the universe moves, not a second too early, not a moment too late. Divine timing weaves the threads of fate, and suddenly, there they are. Maybe it begins with a dream. A name you haven't said in months suddenly crosses your lips. A familiar song plays at the exact moment you think of them. Or maybe you bump into them when you least expect it. And yet deep down, your soul knew. This time, the energy is different. There's no clinging, no fixing. There is presence. There is peace. You don't return as the versions who once triggered each other into chaos. You return as the souls who have faced the fire and risen from the ashes. You are no longer mirrors of pain. You are mirrors of purpose. The reunion doesn't fill a void. It amplifies a fullness you've cultivated on your own. It's not, I need you to feel whole. It's, I am whole, and I choose you. You begin to speak a higher language, not just words, but energy. There's deep forgiveness, compassion, clarity, and above all, there is alignment. Your missions begin to intertwine. Your energies blend, not to escape the world, but to serve it. Because this reunion isn't just romantic, it's divine collaboration. You now understand everything that broke you, everything that hurt, everything that separated you was sacred preparation. The pain had purpose. The delays were divine. The separation was never punishment. It was protection and purification. So when the return happens, it's not a fairy tale ending. It's a spiritual beginning. Together, you now hold the frequency of love, not just for yourselves, but for the planet. And that, chosen one, is the miracle of divine reunion. 9. The union, soul mission activated. Twin flame union is not the final chapter. It's the beginning of a sacred assignment. After all the running, the triggering, the healing, you finally return to each other, not to escape the world, but to embody the light your connection was always meant to anchor. This union isn't built on fantasy. It's forged in fire. It's the convergence of two souls who have died 1,000 ego deaths and chosen love anyway. But this love is different. It's not clingy or chaotic. It's conscious. It's clear. It carries a frequency that is felt by others, even in silence. When you come together in true union, the energy doesn't just bless you, it blesses the environment around you. Your love becomes a channel for healing, for creativity, for divine guidance. Together, you remember why you met, not just for romance, but for revolution. Your presence shifts timelines. Your words awaken souls. Your love, healed, whole, and holy, becomes a living portal for others to rise. This is cosmic collaboration. You each bring different codes, gifts, and light. And when merged, you become mirrors of the divine. You are no longer two halves looking for completion. You are two sovereign flames, choosing union from fullness. And from that space, your soul mission activates. You begin creating things that uplift humanity. You birth new systems, art, healing, or teachings. You restore harmony, not just in each other, but in the collective field. Because true twin flame union isn't a pedestal, it's a platform. It's a call to action, to serve, to love bigger, to lead by frequency. You become light bearers in a world that desperately needs the real thing. And people feel it. Without even knowing why, they feel safer, seen, and stirred to awaken in your presence. This is what the journey was all about. Not to get someone, but to become someone, and then choose someone who reflects your divinity and amplifies your purpose. Together, you walk forward, not as dreamer, but as divine embodiments of love, truth, and sacred mission. Chosen one. Your twin flame journey is not about chasing, it's about becoming. Becoming the highest version of yourself, healing, remembering, aligning with unconditional love. And when both flames rise in their power, in their purpose, union is inevitable. So, if this spoke to your soul, comment 1111. Because you're not just remembering your twin flame, you're remembering who you were before the world told you to forget. This is the divine dance. This is soul evolution. And you, chosen one, are right on time.